Me and Jake running down the street with a handful of comic books, kicking ass and banging chicks and drinking booze
No, not
and
me.
smoking weed.
Me. I'm married.
Yeah, well,
I'm married.
Jake.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.
What's up,
How are
everybody?
you?
I'm Jake. That's Tyler. This is episode, what? 208.
20 something.
208. It's 208.
Two
Last
oh-
week was
you know what?
207.
Oh. Well, then we would be on 208.
That is correct. That is how math works.
Yeah, no, I'm really appreciative that we've been here doing this for 208 episodes. I can't think of anybody else I'd rather be doing this show with.
Jesus Christ himself.
You know, that would be sure.
That would be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I'd be like, hey man, what do you think about all these assholes talking about
Doing
what
this
you
shit
would
in your
do?
name.
Yeah, what would you? Do you have any like real powers, or because if you do, let's fuck shit up. And he'd be like, I'm Jesus, I don't fuck shit up.
I don't
be
know
like,
people. That's not how this
I know, God damn it.
Damn.
And he'd be like, I know, Dad, damn it. Good one, Tyler.
Yeah. All right. I don't know where to go from there.
I don't know where to go from here.
Jesus, man. Not even a minute and a half.
Have we said fuck yet?
No, yeah. I guess.
So what are we talking about this week, Jake? I know we got a lot of books.
We do.
We
have
got
5 comic books to talk
A
about.
fuck ton of books.
But they're single issues. Don't freak out. They're single
We're
issues.
not talking about any collections.
Have
we had people freak out about collections we've done?
No, I'm just saying that, like, that'd be a fucking long ass episode.
Yeah.
So we have to figure this out because off the air, but we are going to. I think we might watch the movies.
Figure closer to Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Well, when we get closer to Superman and Fantastic Four, I was just gonna say now that we are going to be reading because Tyler just read it and he gave it to me and I haven't had a chance to read it, but the John Byrne Superman, the Man of Steel run, we are gonna cover that. When we get closer to Superman.
We got our interest was piqued a couple weeks ago when we were
we read that article,
about the worst reboots and whatnot, and I heavily disagreed with the guy. I don't know like how old the guy is. If he's like 25 and was born in 2000, he may not have a frame of reference for that time. Like when I grew up and I was reading it, I think I've always been pretty liberal. But I didn't really notice any sort of, conservative whatever, and that was one of his points, that it was like the Reagan era Superman. And I didn't find it because a couple days later we're at Jay's and they have the whole collection, the first 6, the original miniseries of 6 issues, collected for $6. And I was like, sweet. So I bought that, and I didn't find after rereading it, I didn't really find that there was so much, Reagan era Superman as much as we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
but it's a good book. I think you're gonna like it. You're gonna be interested.
Yeah, because we had gone back and forth about like watching like an older Superman movie or going back and watching the Fantastic Four movies, and we're like, well, that article, and then that just happened to be at the comic book shop. Was like, okay, well, we'll cover this as we get closer to Superman.
Here's the other thing too is about the Man of Steel is that at this point we already kind of had a not a formula that Marvel used, but we knew like there was a way you introduced comic characters and introduced their origins and whatever. And this was the first time that we had seen DC do that. Now, my brother and I were not...
Because this is post-crisis.
Well, it's like, it's very post... We read there was a limited series that John Byrne also penciled called Legends. And it sets up... It's post-crisis. It's basically, it sets up the DC universe post-crisis. But, like, Shazam dies or he kills somebody, and it's some crazy shit. But... to us, this was like, oh, wow, they're giving us Superman the way that, like, Marvel would. Almost. Because it's like, here's his origin. And we had never seen... We knew the story. We'd seen the movie. But they didn't really talk about it every comic or anything. You knew about it, but you'd never seen it bore out in a comic book form. So it was kind of like, oh, That's a neat way of, anyway, whatever.
Tyler, it's time. It's a long box. Wow.
Fantastic.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So we're gonna do a double
whammy.
We're gonna do it together. So I recently found on Amazon Prime, which I was trying to see. I think it's on Tubi for sure.
That was the last time I watched it. Was on Tubi, I think.
It's on Tubi for sure.
Yeah.
It was on Amazon Prime like literally a few days
'Cause
ago,
I
but
feel
now
like-
I think it's not. I think
feel like I've seen it on
'cause
Amazon too.
I was trying to watch it recently again. Like I don't know.
Honestly, day to day, it's like, oh, that's gone.
Yeah. So it's still, at the very least, it's still on Tubi. There's still episodes up on YouTube even.
I'm sure,
Of Most Extreme Elimination Challenge, MXC.
Commonly referred to as MXC.
One of the few shows that I think that aired on Spike that would probably is aged the best.
Yes.
Humor-wise. Now, I'm not saying that it's perfect. Like, there's some jokes in these, like, first few episodes that I watched. Like, one of them said, like, one of the jokes was gay rape clubs. And I was like, it's a weird joke. You know, some of them don't age well, but that's comedy. You know, it was a different time, the early 2000s. But I think it's such a weird thing because sometimes in life you see things that you remember from your childhood, you remember growing up, and you're like, you think it's a fever dream. You're like, no way that thing existed, right? That I was just imagining that. And then you meet somebody else in your life, and they're like, no, I've seen that. Oh yeah, no, I watched it. And so like, the fact that this was a thing and then the fact that it was on Amazon, and I asked my wife, I was like, have you seen this? She said no, and I put it on, and I start just laughing my ass off, dude, because I used to watch this with my dad. Like late at night, because it would always air like late Saturday. Like we'd watch like football, and then after that we'd watch like MXC. Yeah, because it would air like late Saturday nights, so at like 11 o'clock.
There was a show that came on late '90s, I want to say mid '90s, late '90s, and it was called Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yes, it's very much like that.
Well, it was one of those things where they took something and then just dubbed their voices over it. But it was even more than that because they actually dubbed like the actual people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the people that are in the game show, they put in dubs of it. That's funny.
It always
they fake names.
It always felt like they sat down with no knowledge of what was about to happen and just ad-libbed all of it. That's the way it sounded to me, and that's why it's so funny. Because you know that they watched it a bunch of times and then wrote jokes to it, right?
Because
of course.
Well, it's because the game show
and
itself.
Then they do,
The footage they're using is from Takeshi's Castle.
Which is exactly the same game show.
So they're just reusing weird. That footage, which is funny because this came out in 2003, and Kung Pao Enter the Fist came out a year before that, and it did the same thing. It took an old Chinese kung fu movie. And Steve Odenkirk wrote a whole new script, repurposed everything in it, changed the story, and digitally inserted himself into the movie, and did that. And then MXC comes out like a year later, same thing. It's like this weird time where we're doing, and Mystery Science Theater was already a thing where we're just we're doing this funny thing where we're having commentary and we're just riffing and making jokes, and
Vic Romano and Kenny Blankenship,
and dude. Like I watched like 3 or 4 episodes, and
right you are.
And then I mentioned it to Luke when I was hanging out with him this past weekend, and so he watched it again. I rewatched that first. Dude, I was in tears, and I was like, I remember this show, and I remember laughing. I'm like, is it going to be as funny as I remember?
Like somebody stands up in the crowd like, I love cheese.
Dude,
like,
there's a dude that went up and he like does this thing where he like throws up one finger and he goes, "What up, G?"
Yeah,
He just starts running.
It's so random. Like
and
fucking
the game show itself. There's no teams, but they made it a team.
I've got
show,
hemorrhoids, and
they would pit like addicts versus organ donors, and like weird fucking and the silliest names you could think of. And there was one time I watched, and this guy he was an addict playing for the addict team. He gets hit, and they're like, "Well, if you look at the replay here, Ken," and he goes, "If you look." He gets hit here, and there's a weird object, and there's like this like pink thing. He got hit by a ball. It looked like it was like the the debris from the ball or something, but they said it was his pancreas, and he's like, he also donated in that event, so now he scored a point for both teams, and there's like silly shit like that. And then I remember
funny.
one of them, this lady just fucking. There's one where they had to run on the logs.
Yeah.
And this lady runs on it, slips, just fucking eats it face first.
There's
into
some
this other
hard
log.
bites in there, too.
And the guy, Kenny
right
just keeps rewinding it and goes, oh yeah, do it some more. Yeah, look at the bone crunch. And he goes, oh yeah, I want to see some blood. Like, and then there's this one guy. Do you remember the one where they had to run on the rocks? And there's one false sinkers and floaters.
Yeah, it's a long, like...
You have to run across it. And
most of these challenges
are painful.
Well, they don't make them, but here's the thing. The original show, Takeshi's Castle, started off with anywhere from 86 to 241 contestants.
Yeah.
So I saw that. So I don't know how long it was or whatever, but clearly, like all game shows and reality shows, which is a little bit of both, you record everything and then you select what you want. Right?
And that's what this show does too, because it's a bunch of episodes.
And they
thrown
clearly
together.
found like all the ones where people just suck.
They just
like
bite it.
hard.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just so.
Well, and that's they said that they had some issues with Spike because there was some
Spike TV.
There was some demand.
Are you a man watching TBS
what they were running
or the woman's channel? You ought to watch a man's channel. Also, there's these things you can use to wipe your butt, and they're called dude wipes. And if you're a man, you're going to use dude wipes. Man.
You done.
So tired of this whole... Anyway.
So,
Spike.
I know. That's what I mean. It's like, this is one of the few things that I could actually go back and watch from that Spike TV era. Oh, Pros vs. Joes was another great Spike TV show. Did you ever watch that? Where it would take like these, like average Joe, like peaked in high school jocks, going up against like Jerry Rice and shit. Oh, what a show! What a show!
I think I vaguely remember. My favorite thing was on Sci-Fi Network, and it was called Face Off. And
when they did makeup.
Yeah, and prosthetics.
Did you ever watch Scare
and shit.
Tactics?
Oh, watch that shit.
It was a reality show, though.
I don't care.
It was like a prank. It was like a prank reality show, but there was like ghosts and goblins,
goofs and goblins. Yeah,
that was a good one. Yeah, I beat you on that one, man.
All right, so let's talk.
But MXC is a funny ass show, so you can find it in a bunch of places. And it's if you're just bored and you're like, I have nothing that I want to watch.
Tonight.
All right, let's get into some news.
Aggressive.
So the news that we really want to talk about is kind of an open discussion. Why am I looking? We need to get a camera in here because I keep looking over.
You need to buy a new thing.
Oh,
first.
I need to buy a camera.
No,
and you need to buy
that.
a camera. All right. So there's 2 sequels that were announced from long dead franchises.
Sequels, reboots, requels.
They're continuations. Yeah. Technically, both of them are because Liam Neeson is starring in The Naked Gun, and
great casting.
He is Frank Drebin Jr., the son of Leslie Nielsen's character. Which, oh my god! And that first, like that trailer shot where they're all kneeling down in front of all their dads, their dead dads, and then they cut to the OJ one, and he just looks at the camera like, nah.
I think Liam Neeson is a perfect casting choice for this role. The guy Paul Walter Hauser, I think he's been in a lot of shit lately. He's like the captain or whatever. And then
oh my god,
I can't remember who his partner is, but Pamela Anderson, is the femme fatale, if you will.
When he says take a seat and she takes the chair out of the office.
I don't know if you've ever seen back in the day there was this movie called Hot Rod.
Yes. Well,
it is one of my favorite movies of all time. When I first saw the trailers, I was like, this looks so stupid. This looks like every funny bit was put in the trailer. Like, this looks so dumb. And then I went about a year later, I had gone through school and I had my internship at Fox Sports Net Rocky Mountain. And this guy that I worked with was like, have you ever seen Hot Rod? And I'm like, no. And he's like, are you serious? Dude, it's like the funniest movie ever. And I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah, you got it. So I went home, got it from Netflix, watched it, and I just died. Now, every time I see a movie, especially one that I'm inclined to like already,
Yeah.
before I see one frame, like a Naked Gun reboot, every time I see a trailer that's like, oh, this feels like every funny bit is in the trailer, I try and remember Hot Rod, because that was not the case. Hot Rod was so much more funnier than the trailer made it out to be, and I'm hoping that, because there are funny jokes in the trailer, but we've already seen some of them in the teaser. So it's, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
and that's fine with me if you want to keep most of the jokes in the movie and not in the trailer. That's good.
what sold me on it was
It's
that
Liam
first-
Neeson
Well-
sold me on it.
let me. Yeah,
For me, anyway.
it was that, and then I saw it was Akiva Schaffer was doing it too.
Right, he's one of the lost
because the
Lonely
Lonely
Island
Island
characters,
guys, I genuinely
They made Hot Rod. Well, yeah.
yeah, he made it. They wrote it. And
MacGruber.
he was
Lonely
Jorma directed that one, but he co-wrote it with him. Yeah. Like,
What was that? Never Stop, Never Stopping.
well,
that fucking
like
classic, dude.
that movie Pop Star is literally
That's all them.
is
the
a
three of them.
is them making fun of themselves, because clearly Lonely Island existed to make Andy Samberg the star, but Akiva and Jorma was always in the background. Is it Jorma, right?
Jorma Tacone.
Yeah. Those two were always writing shit in the background and directing things. So like when I saw he was directing it, and then it was being produced by Seth MacFarlane and had Liam Neeson, I'm like, okay, so we got some serious names behind this. And dude, the fucking body cam footage of him trying to take a shit was not a gag that I think would, like, that's got to be the opening gag of the movie, right? Because that just seems like it would be.
My worry is that, okay, like
I'm in.
I am too. But my worry is A Million Ways to Die in the West. One of my favorite movies. Now, there are some Seth MacFarlane. If you've ever seen Ted, I'm sorry. Hang on.
You got to watch the show. The show's better.
No, I don't.
Ted
know.
the series is good.
Seth needs to have somebody tell him, hey, you know what? The joke is funny. Leave it alone. He tends to beat the fuck out of jokes until they're not funny anymore. So I'm worried about that, because there are moments in A Million Ways to Die in the West where it's like, okay, we get it.
It's also important.
And Family Guy.
It's also
and The Cleveland Show.
Stop. It's important to note that he hasn't written for those shows in years.
Fair.
Most of his work has been the Orville.
That's fair. But if you watch,
and I did not like A Million Ways to Die in the
And
West.
really?
I thought Ted was okay. I
you
thought
didn't like.
it was. I'd have to rewatch it, but I would.
But Liam Neeson is so classic.
Let me finish.
All right.
Ted 2 sucked dick. I hated that one.
Hey, bro, I'm in another one.
I'm going to say suck shit, and then dick came out. So you take with
What'd
take
you
with it
say?
with you.
Suck dick.
It sucked dick, but I wanted to say shit.
Shit, dick.
Because I prefer to say suck shit, because I think that's a funny thing to say. Man, my day sucks shit.
You dick shit. Okay.
Ted the series is good, and you should give it a shot on Peacock.
No.
Watch it. It's
No.
funny. It is funny.
No. Okay.
The best joke of it. You know what? No, watch it.
No, yeah, don't.
Watch it. And they're getting a second season. I'm going to watch that
Fucking
too.
Christ.
Fuck you.
Jesus
Seth
Christ.
MacFarlane. Hey, I'm willing to watch the Orville. I've heard it's great. I've heard
Orville is great.
Yeah. So but it's important to note, I don't think he's a writer on this. He's just an executive producer. So he's not writing it.
Well, anybody that executive producers, that's a title
yes,
for somebody who's a writer.
he has
They're
influence on
They're
it,
getting more
I'm
money
sure,
than the producer gets. He's executive
And
producer.
I'm sure he has some influence on it.
Of course.
Sure.
I'm
I'm looking it up. Who's writing it?
I'm excited for it because I just hope that the two parties involved in these two movies are that they feel as sacrosanct about these movies that I do. And not like, oh my God, they're infallible and you should never do anything to change them or to add to them or whatever. Dude, Naked Gun 33 1/3 is terrible. It is awful.
It's very transphobic.
Oh my God, the entire movie is based off of transphobia. That's the whole joke. She's so hot, but she's got a dick. Yeah. Like that's the joke, right? So you can't really screw up the Naked Gun. But Spaceballs is kind of a classic. And while I do generally like Josh Gad, he is also one of those guys that I feel like, okay, we got the joke. You can leave it alone now. Type of new comedy guys. And I'm just, Mel Brooks is involved, so that's good. What I love about that is that Lewis Pullman is clearly going to be playing like the son of Lone Star, and Bill Pullman is playing Lone Star, which, did you see, by the way, speaking of this, since you're reading, somebody posted something about how good it would be to do a True Detective season with Kurt Russell and Bill Pullman as the old cops.
Oh,
and Wyatt Russell and Lewis Pullman as the younger versions.
But they did that with that Monarch show.
What Monarch show?
It's on Apple TV Plus. It connects all the kaiju Warner Brothers movies, and Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Wyatt Russell plays a younger version of Kurt Russell's character in that movie. But yeah, I like that. Well, but the fact that Lewis Pullman and Bill Pullman are both going to be in this is kind of cool. And the whole teaser trailer was genius, where it was like, here's what's happened since we've been gone, and it just lists all the fucking franchises.
Yeah.
And then,
plus 2 dudes.
We listened to the fans, and we made this instead. I'll be honest, I didn't care much for History of the World Part 2. I watched like maybe 1 or 2 episodes of it.
It's funny. Here's what I liked about it is that Nick Kroll, Ike Barinholtz, and I can't remember the third person, but those 3 like newer, not Silverman, it was a girl. But those, Wanda Sykes, those 3 were like the kind of the vanguard of that. It was mostly like, produced by Mel Brooks, right? Because he's spry, but he's old. But I liked that they took a lot of liberties with it, and they were like, hey, we have a chance to work with Mel Brooks. And clearly, it's not getting into the show if he doesn't like it. And Nick Kroll's funny as fuck, dude. I mean, he's so funny.
Yeah, so yeah, this whole the development of the Naked Gun that's coming out is kind of interesting.
They announced it like a couple months ago.
Oh well, they announced this originally was announced back in 2014. Hold on,
who was it?
With Ed Helms as Frank Drebin.
I don't remember that.
So, but it kind of floundered, and
I'm sure, they've been trying.
So then it developed again in August. This is coming from their Wikipedia.
Okay.
In August 2015. Helms confirmed that the script is still being written while acknowledging that concerns that Zucker had the modern-day audience reception and a need for something other than the spoof genre of the previous movies. And then it turned into Naked Impossible because it was going to be like a spoof spy movies because Zucker felt that they didn't make cop movies anymore, and the spoof thing was supposed to be important. That fell through completely until 2021. When Seth MacFarlane comes into the picture, because he expressed that he wanted to put Liam Neeson in back in 2015. Like he was like, we should do this. So eventually,
dude, Liam Neeson has
it's just
some
crazy.
Serious comedy chops, and anybody who's seen, he's been in a lot of stuff where it's like,
he's
holy
great
shit,
in the
he's
Lego
funny.
Movie as a voice performance.
Dude,
as a cop, he's hilarious.
He's hilarious, yeah. So I mean, I'm all about. I know he's gonna be good. I know the cast looks great. The movie, it looks great. I'm hoping that they finished most of the filming in the next like 6 months for Spaceballs 2. I swear to God, Mel Brooks is like 100.
Yeah,
I think the reason why they're saying 2027 is they want to do the special effects like they did with the first one, which is they got ILM involved, so they're gonna.
Yeah.
It's
also they have to call this the quest for more money. Like it has to be, right? You can't not.
So let's. Are there any?
Let's kind of keep going on that thing of the legacy sequel, because there's these things like the requel, where it's like you have sometimes like Terminator Dark Fate, where it's like we're going to acknowledge the first 2 Terminator movies, or the Halloween movies that came out recently. We're going to acknowledge the first Halloween movie. That's it. It's a requel. It's a reboot sequel.
Oh, how about the Karate Kid? We're going to have a Karate Kid with Jackie Chan and Will Smith's kid, but it's not karate. It's kung fu because it's in China. Okay, now we're having Jackie Chan
and
coming
Ralph
into
Macchio.
the real,
right. So we're saying, because wasn't the Jackie Chan thing? He was Mr. Miyagi, and that was a remake.
We're gonna make more money if we combine stuff, guys. Is what Hollywood is finding out, right? Don't you think?
I think for something like The Naked Gun, I think it work, and Spaceballs. I think those legacy sequels work because you have the original creators coming back, and I think that, or not. Well, at least for Spaceballs, you have the original creator come back, but you have very much. I mean, just based on the trailer for what I'm seeing, very much in line with the humor of those the original stuff. And
like most comedy movies, it's risky because sometimes they just don't land.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you see a comedy movie and you're like, this is fucking terrible. Pluto Nash is a great example. But I have faith
what's
in
that show on TBS with Rashida Jones? Angie
Tribeca. That show's fucking great.
That was for me like
that makes me pee my pants. That's all funny.
But that is such a Naked Gun style humor.
Totally just
that spoof off the wall absurd shit.
Every here's the thing is I used to watch that when I was building Legos, and here's why I stopped. Because you have to watch for the sight gags.
Yeah.
You can listen for the jokes. Because
everything
that comes out of anybody's mouth is a potential joke in that show.
And that's what so there's clearly a room for that in an environment.
And the guy with the dog is the guy in all the Old Spice commercials.
Oh, and the fact that they got in the Naked Gun trailer when they got fucking Cody Rhodes and he smacks his face on the fucking bar and his face is scrambled. Like, it's so stupid.
He's got
his
big
face
eyebrows.
is completely different. He looks like a Muppet. Like it's like, and then like I said earlier, with fucking he says take a seat and she just walks out with the chair, like stupid shit like that. Like okay, we're still going for that vibe because I will defend those first two movies. Mm-hmm. Of the Naked Gun series, I think those first two movies are still pretty funny, and they still hold up.
Here's something that
God, the sight jerk off gag.
here's what we cannot have, and this is what is very important. With, I love the whole sitting in front of their dads bit.
Yeah,
but it felt a little bit winky, like to the audience. This is one thing. Spoof movies and movies like these two. They work because the people doing them are ultra deadly serious about the project. You know what I mean? Like,
well, it's treated like a real movie.
Yes,
like Leslie Nielsen plays it like a cop procedural.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and that's what Liam Neeson's
as long
doing,
as neither project succumbs to that need, there's sometimes a desire to be like, "Hey, did you see what we did?" As long as they stay away from that, I'm fine with whatever they do.
And that's why
that's what made the first movie so good.
That's why I think McFarlane was on the money by getting having Neeson do it because he is the perfect guy.
He's got the gravitas of a fucking
dude. To be Frank,
doesn't he have an Oscar?
Time out. To be Frank Drebin, you have to be the ultimate straight man because everything around you
doesn't he have an Oscar?
Is silly and absurd.
Why did you just answer me the first time?
Because I'm trying to fucking talk and you keep talking while I'm talking. You silly bastard.
You talk while I talk. I don't know why you were mad at me.
Not as much. I love you. So it's like your mom and dad had a fight and your friend's over. But our friend is the audience.
I'm just going to go downstairs and watch TV for a little bit.
I'll be downstairs and play Xbox.
I can't believe you let the kid over. What? That's what it sounds like in the basement. You're like, I don't know what they're yelling about, but they're pissed.
I'm sorry. I was like,
did you ever got invited to a friend's house and their parents were arguing?
Oh yeah, for sure. You know what's awkward is when you have a friend over and your parents are doing it and you hear it.
Never had that issue.
That happened to me.
I don't think I ever had anybody over when my parents were arguing.
And then I turned up the TV and they had the audacity to tell me to turn down the TV. And I said, you turn it down in there.
So, by the way, a week from today is Ironheart, and we will be, I think we're going to switch.
I'm not doing that show. It's too woke. Yeah, go ahead.
You said you can't do Mondays and Wednesdays?
No.
Let's try and do Friday. Or Saturday.
Thursday. Wednesday.
I have stuff going on the next 2 Thursdays.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out later.
Off the air. Why are we doing this here?
Because I love you.
Also, I just interrupted you.
We will figure it out, but we start Ironheart next week, so be looking for the change in date next week because it won't probably be on a Tuesday. Does this usually come out Wednesday? Yeah. So we got books. We got books.
We got books, yeah. Do we?
Mm-hmm.
We got too many books, in my opinion. First up, I want to talk about, let's go.
Excuse me.
You know,
I also had a for real shake.
that's for real. Let's go with the one that.
You want to get the shitty one out of the way?
Which one's the shitty one?
Oh, come
yeah,
on.
Yeah, let's go with the
Yeah,
shitty one,
come
and
on.
we talk about Absolute Green Lantern 3. First of all, apologies, Al Ewing. It's not so. I just don't.
Jahnoy,
I mean,
Lindsay,
all right, we can talk
Lindsay.
about it. All right, so at this point in the story, Abin Sur is here, and it's not so much about power rings. He's just in like this lantern-shaped green thing. Nothing can penetrate it, but John Stewart was the one who said, "Wait a minute, there was one thing like this guy in the previous issues, he had smacked into it, into the green barrier, and he turned into like mush."
Yeah.
And then he said something like, "Well, everything was turned into mush, but this," and he's holding up a gold ring. And I wasn't really picking up on this at this point, but as it gets later in the issue, I was like, "That's what we're doing?"
Yeah.
Okay. So so then he starts to investigate different things where he throws the ring and it penetrates through the hole and goes to the other side, or penetrates through the barrier. So then they're like, okay, well, we need to get some gold, like other items that are like gold or something, maybe something plastic, maybe not metal. We need any sort of thing to try and see if we can penetrate it. In between, we get the climax to the end of the second issue with Hal being the Black Hand and what's her face? I can't remember. Cruz? I think her
Who,
last
the
name was
lady?
Cruz. Yeah.
I can't remember.
Anyway, she and Hal have a fight where he has the gun in his hand and he's like, "Do you understand? This thing hates it but craves it. Like it wants the ring that you have."
Joe.
So she's like, she says, "No, you can't have it. You got to control yourself." And then he's like, "I understand that you can't control it." And then the gun points at her with the black hand to shoot her, but she fights him off by making a giant fist to punch him down. So it's like the first time we see, a construct created by a ring, maybe.
So,
And he's like, "How did you figure this out?" And she's like, "Control your shit," pretty much, and left. She's like, "I'm going to beat your ass again," pretty much.
yeah, and look, at some point they figure out gold something, blah blah
See,
blah.
that is
John Stewart dies,
Time
blah
out,
blah
time
blah.
out,
What?
time out. I just want to comment on that real fast. For me, when I picked up on what he was doing, I'm like, so Hal shows up later with this little gold statue.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a Funko Pop. They stick it in, it goes through, and it does that. And I'm like, is this how Al Ewing is going to make yellow stronger than green in this fucking story? That's just what we're going with?
Gold can control the blah, blah, blah.
And so once he figures that out, and they make a big hole, it forms back. But once he figures that out, Abin Sur shows up and says, "Fuck you.
kills John Stewart.
You're being judged." Apparently. My thought is he's in prison in Ogle.
I don't
Is
know.
what I'm guessing.
Whatever.
I don't care either. I just
Look, hey, I got a random arm and a giant head for no reason. Why? What are you trying to do here? Who took a look at that character design for Abin Sur in this and was like, "That's exactly what I was thinking," or "Yeah, that is exactly."
Give him 4 arms and a tentacle head.
Yeah, why? What the fuck? I don't.
And make everybody look. I just don't like.
And then
I don't like the art
The
style.
book ends. The book ends with clearly Hal during the flashback still is painting all of his bullets gold, and he's mad because John Stewart's dead, whatever. And I already know what's gonna happen. He goes and he tries to shoot Abin Sur, and Abin Sur makes him into the Black Hand, and blah. I don't fucking care anymore. I succumbed. I said, okay, one more issue. I'll give you one more issue to give me a reason to give a shit about Absolute Green Lantern, and you failed. In fact, you made me more sure that I do not want to read any more of your nonsense, and I want nothing to do with your twist endings. I wish you could see us flipping them off. Also doing doing the
I didn't care for that book either. I'm not look, I applaud it for being one of the few Absolute books that I think all the Absolute books in some way really do some fun things with the characters. And I will say this one does the most. And we said a lot with this one where they're like, okay, maybe this goes too far off of what we kind of want for the character. And you know what? Look, there's probably people that like this. I'm just not into it. I just don't really care for it. For me, Green Lantern is always more fun in space. He's a space cop. That's where he should be. So it's really hard for me to care about an Earth Green Lantern story.
You're taking 3 issues to get to the point, and I still haven't got to the point. I mean, we kind of already know, okay, she's wearing her gold band, and that's how she can control it. Because it was explicitly stated, he explicitly stated, well, she's not going to have a Green Lantern ring. They don't exist. I'm like, oh, that's weird. I'm so, okay, what is it then? Just some sort of energy that people are like, I don't care. Because you've already taken 3 issues, and I still don't know, and I don't fucking care at this point. Sorry. Thank you. Bye.
See ya.
Later. See ya. Peace. The next Absolute book that we have to review is much better.
Absolute Superman, number 8.
Mainly, sorry, go ahead.
Jason Aaron and the art done by Rafa Sandoval. So
mainly because the first 8 pages is Ra's al Ghul just beating the shit out of dudes and telling everybody about his origin, which is awesome.
We get introduced to Ra's al Ghul, and
the Omega Men are trying to take him down in his penthouse.
Another example of doing something fun in a cool way is okay, so Aaron is making Ra's al Ghul a Superman villain, pretty much. We're playing with that, and you know what? Hey, comic books have been doing it a long time. Kingpin has been a Spider-Man villain and a Daredevil villain. We've seen it in comics. I'm all for it. I love that idea of getting. Well, honestly, instead of it being Lex, it's Ra's, because it's Lazarus owns everything instead of LexCorp. Which again, a nice little turn. But yeah, Ra's al Ghul kind of introduces himself and says oh, let's talk about the fucking Lazarus Pit in this. So we get introduced to what this version of the Lazarus Pit, but usually normally, in the DC universe, you just go, you're dying or you're dead, and you get thrown into the Lazarus Pit, and you're reborn. You lose a piece of yourself. You get a little crazier each time, which is why Ra's is a villain. But in this, he throws a guy into the pit, and it turns him into a baby, and then he takes the baby, walks it to the balcony, and drops the baby off the balcony. And as he drops it off the balcony, it ages into a man again, because it goes from to oh my god to speaking again. So my guess is it went back.
I
Either way, holy shit, he just chucked the baby, man. That's hardcore.
Yeah.
It's kind of insane. And I kind of like it.
And he's doing all this while he's on a conference call with his board of directors or whatever. For
Lazarus means sustainability and the power of sacrifice. As it goes, oh my god! That.
I think the other thing about this issue that really gets me is that they've gone full bore villain with Christopher Smith.
Awesome.
He's not. I don't think he's really known as Peacemaker or whatever.
Time out.
Huh.
I know this shit was what? Well, a year or so in advance they were planning this stuff out with Absolute. How much did James Gunn have an input on this?
I don't know.
Because it seems rather convenient to me. I bumped the thing.
God damn it.
I'm just saying that I think it's interesting that the first of all, the Peacemakers are a thing in this. But then also that Christopher Smith is such a big thing. When the two big properties that are going to continue to build up the DCU is Peacemaker and Superman. So I don't know how much. Maybe Jason Aaron always kind of had that thing, or maybe he James Gunn started consulting with him because he's big on not necessarily combining the comics with the movies, but using them as a template. Anyway, what were you gonna say about this?
I was just gonna say, completely kind of off topic, but there, that's the name of our thing.
Apologies for the
technical what is the team that all these guys are supposed to be on in the movie? They have all these costumes: Mr. Terrific, Green Lantern, Hawkgirl.
They to me look like Lex Luthor's Justice League, in my opinion.
Yes, I should. Yeah. So they're arguing. Lois and Jimmy, who's an Omega Man, are fighting over Superman. He gets shot by the Peacemakers because they found kryptonite.
Because the Brainiac was
able to find it.
Yeah, we see a Brainiac upgraded Christopher Smith, who has the kryptonite bullets that are like digging into the suit, and Soule is telling Superman like, I can't, like, this is tearing you down.
He looks like an Ironmonger type of character with like a thing in the middle, like the ion thing in the chest.
Brainiac kind of traditionally looks like in a way. Yeah.
So they save him and they move him somewhere, and the cape or whatever it's called like gets the bullet out, and Smith starts trying to kick his
Soule,
kicking his ass. That's right, Soule starts kicking his ass, and they get him off for a moment, enough for him to escape.
Yeah.
And he gets. Oh wow. Yeah.
He shoots him again.
But
with a couple more bullets. Oh yeah, when he shows up with the helmet on, I'm like, whoa,
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he uses his backup radiation power to like have this cool looking like armor and mask.
Right, but then he just shoots him with a bunch of kryptonian kryptonite bullets.
He fights him off for a while, and then Christopher Smith gets the upper hand. Shoots him a couple more times.
And then the Omega Men boot him away.
And he tries to kill him, and Brainiac turns him off and says, no, I'm still in charge here, and your orders are to bring him in alive, because Ra's al Ghul wants Superman alive. So
they boom him in, and she's like, hey.
Oh, that's another thing.
And they say, not you, and she's in trouble. Yes.
That was fucking dope. They were like, she says you had a way out of here, and he goes, yeah, let's boom out of here. There's a fucking boom tube with the Omega Man. I'm like, hell yeah. And then, they leave her to get fucked. And that's they're like, no, you don't get to go with us.
I'll bet you anything that Primus is going to turn out to be Big Barda.
Oh, that would be dope.
Well, if we're talking Apocalypse, she is a large, impressive female with dark hair.
This issue slaps. All right?
Yeah.
I was...
hardcore.
Hey, I ain't too proud to admit when I'm wrong. First couple issues, I wasn't vibing with this book, but holy shit, has Jason Aaron been killing it with this?
I think the dust, the introduction of the dust,
so how the cape works. Ugh,
it's one of those things. Okay, like here's the first three. The first three Absolute books worked really well for one big reason, and it is this: Batman, Absolute Batman. You didn't know what kind of fun stuff he was going to come up with, like with his suit or his cape or his vehicles and shit, right? Mm-hmm. And Wonder Woman, you didn't know what she was going to come up with not just her sword, but also all of her spells and her magic.
Yeah.
Right? And Superman, the first couple issues didn't really touch on what the cape was capable of, right? Mm-hmm. And then you start figuring out that it's kind of an all-purpose thing.
It's like a really advanced AI.
It adds to Absolute Superman what Absolute Wonder Woman and Batman already had, which is a wealth of possibilities that is almost limitless.
Yeah.
You can make Absolute Batman have whatever fucking gadget he wants. You can make Absolute Wonder Woman have whatever spell she wants, and now you can make that cape do whatever the fuck Absolute Superman wants. Those are why to me those three have been so successful, and why the subsequent three are not yet.
And it just shows and I think that's why those three books are successful. So successful is their subtle changes make the difference, right? The fact that we have a Cal that gets on Earth later in life that actually got to know his parents, actually knew them, actually grieved them, and then met the Kents, and it's actually really sad when he goes to meet Martha, and she has dementia. She doesn't remember who he is. He thinks she's Jonathan and freaks out.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah, such a good book. I was impressed with how action packed it was and
Action packed.
well paced it was, and yeah, the fact that we're making Ra's al Ghul this big hulking badass to fight Superman. That's such an interesting, crazy, cool concept. That yeah, man, I'm really interested, and it's such a bummer to go from. Because that's what I did. I read Absolute Green Lantern. Well, if we're being honest, I read the Ghost Rider book we're reading first. But I read Absolute Green Lantern first because I knew I wasn't going to enjoy that nearly as much as Superman. Look, and I'm telling you, it's night and day. Like, Absolute Superman is such... And I'm not... Yeah, I don't know.
Full disclosure. I said to myself, I'm like, after 2, I was like, I'm not going to get another Absolute Green Lantern. I know it's only $5, but it's just not worth my time. I get to the comic book shop, last week or whatever, whenever I bought it, and it's in my pull list. So, it's in the stack of books they give me, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe this is where he kind of connects it all together and makes me care. Or maybe one more. Like, give it another shot, right? Mm-hmm. I owe it to the book.
Especially given how good We Only Find Them When They're Dead was, and like how much we liked all of his other stuff.
How long did it take for us to get past Absolute Superman, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it took us a couple issues, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, we owe it to them for at least, I think, 3. In fact, we did first 5, right? Now, I'm not willing to do that anymore, but I did. I gave that issue, number 3, my complete open-ended, like, I am yours, mold me. You know what I mean? Like, no preconceptions, no, like, I didn't go in going, I don't like this book, I don't like this art. I didn't go in, I went into it going, this is going to make this comic make sense to me. And I really tried. And it just is not, I'm sorry, it's a big miss for me. I hate to say it because I know a record executive is going to say that to me someday. It's a no for me, dog. Randy?
And you say you will, because
I'm wild, yeah.
And he's going to be like,
what?
Yeah.
And then you say,
I could write a book about what you don't know.
Our next book is, you know what? That should be our intro to our comic book reviews. What are we thinking?
Duh.
Every week it should be,
I could write a book about what you don't know.
Let's talk about some more
I love
comics.
the lasers and the do. So lasers.
Scared the shit out of me.
What? Are you okay?
Got shot at.
Oh. Sorry. Look out! The bullet is coming at you.
Is it a bullet or is it
Eagly, Peacemaker.
Eagly Peacemaker number 3 of 5. I'm gonna take my opportunity.
And it's black label so they can say fuck a lot. What?
I want to take this opportunity to say, okay, this cover that you got, not bad, but fuck you, DC, once again with your $1 extra fucking covers.
Yeah,
fuck you.
Yeah, honestly, go.
Because you know what? This cover's better. The actual cover of the comic.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. The extra cover doesn't do shit for me. It doesn't do anything for me other than make me feel cheated out of $1. Now I know you're like, it's $1.
Hey, we gotta pay these. We can pay these extra artists.
Dollars
sure,
adds
they get
up.
Paid whatever, but it's just
dollars
like,
adds up.
Dollars add up.
Dollars adds up.
Dollars add up.
Anyway.
So this book starts with...
It continues the really funny story and probably not super like canon worthy or anything, but it's a fun story of Vigilante,
Vigilante
and Eagly.
thinks the controller still has Peacemaker, and then
He thinks he's a robot.
He was a robot.
He figures out he's not,
Yeah.
and he figures out that the waitress that he works really wants to fuck him. Which is funny, interesting thing. And then he shows up where the...
I also think it's funny the villain looks like the Situation from Jersey Shore. So he crashes their party.
Yeah.
Vigilante.
It just starts,
Gets into a fight with Donna Omiciato. Yeah. I love the fact that they do an X-ray and it shows her replaced hip. So yeah, that's basically that thing when they fight, and he wakes up in like their dungeon, and then he's like, I still don't know what Con is canon, and Saber were out here. Maybe they left a clue on the ground. Condom, and he picks up like a used condom, and I noticed he has like the Spidey sense squigglies, but it's sperm. This book is ridiculous.
And then we have so I again pick it up. It's a good book. And then we got a Vigilante
Eagly
diary
side.
entry.
Yeah, and then the Eagly side is Peacemaker. They crash landed their plane earlier, and now they're in the woods, and they're getting attacked by the League of Assassins. Him and Eagly take him down.
I like basically what's really entertaining about this story is
the violence.
well, yes, but there's clearly like a couple of people in the group who are, for lack of a better term, woke. And I don't use that word.
The funny
here,
part
but-
was when he was talking about like stripping naked. with
Yes. Well, he's talking about having sex with each other, and he's like, "Are you up?" You know, and she's
he's
like,
like,
"You
"You're
got to be kidding me!" And she's like, "I'm not kidding."
The other dude being like, "I want," the flight attendant
Yeah.
dude being like, "I want to." He's like, "Well, you're coming on a little too strong."
Yeah.
Okay. You can't want it that bad. Okay.
It's honestly when you read it as John Cena saying it.
oh yeah, I read it as the characters from.
And
the
then there's
show.
a big twist at the end, and that's enough for that
Yeah.
book.
Wow.
Well, go pick it up.
Read my ass.
Don't you think?
I want to read your ass.
I want to read.
That's why I said
your
read my ass.
ass.
'Cause eat your ass
Oh.
and read your
Oh.
ass combined in my brain. So.
I could write a book about what you don't know.
What's that book?
Ghost Rider versus
We're gonna do
Galactus.
that for each. My car was crashed.
Okay.
Skeletor kept yelling.
Yeah, God damn it.
I hate this fucking book.
I think
I'm just kidding.
the art is really cool.
The one shot, Ghost Rider versus Galactus #1.
Mm.
Let's just say this name is a misnomer. Might as well be Ghostbuster. Wow. Ghost Rider / Galactus #1 because they don't really fight very much.
Well, first it's New York City late 70s, and I like the art in this book, and Thing is looking around, and by the way, it's supposed to be Johnny Blaze, but it's clearly Danny Ketch. You know what I mean? Like he's got, anyway, whatever.
Well, yeah, because at this point,
He's
Danny
got the
Ketch,
penance stare.
Danny Ketch look has just been like the main Ghost Rider look for so long at this point. You know what I mean?
Mm.
With the leather and the spikes.
Yeah, like it matters or
Yeah.
whatever.
His design is crazy. Like the art in this book is great.
Yeah,
I love
the art is
like,
great.
Fake
So
70s art.
right, so
Yeah,
they finally get to figuring out that. Oh wait, there's a Galactus thing or whatever.
Well, he does the penance. Yeah, he does the penance.
Well,
like you're
Thing
saying.
tells him about it.
He's like, hey, what about
So-
Galactus?
So he fucking like eldritch like tentacles like connect his bike to a rocket.
spaceship and shoots himself into space to fight Galactus.
That's fucking dope as fuck. That panel right
Oh.
here, this page.
So this is the weird problem I have with this book.
Hmm.
The front half is overly packed with cheesy, stupid humor, where we got stupid fucking pedestrians talking in the background, which why JMS decides to do that in every damn story he writes is beyond me. I don't necessarily think it might be Ben. It's him or Bendis, I can't remember who, but they like to do the stupid dialogue in the background with New Yorkers. And I'm like, shut the fuck up, I don't care about them. That drives me crazy. Because then you go from that to the guy describing his planet getting destroyed, and it's actually really cool and serious. And I'm like, what tone is this book trying to be? And then, so I'm like, whatever. We're getting to the main point of this, right? We're getting to Galactus fighting Ghost Rider. How is this going to work? And honestly, I love the first part, and I thought the whole fight was going to be him just driving on Galactus the whole time, tearing him down. And I kind of thought that would be cool. It's very video gamey. But what they actually do, I was kind of cool with because they made a giant Ghost Rider where he like turned himself into this giant Galactus-sized thing, and they start fighting.
Yeah.
And he tries to stare into Galactus's eyes, but he can't do it because there's there's no soul to take.
Cause he has no remorse.
Yeah.
He
He understands this is
it's
his mission because it's the I'm sorry, Marvel. Lies. I don't buy this propaganda that the Watcher is spewing that Celestials are important and they have to eat these worlds, and then when they explode, they create more, or when they die, they make even more worlds, and blah 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 blah. Blah. I don't buy it. I'm on Ghost Rider's side where he's like, bullshit. I don't believe you, and I don't care. What do you think about that?
Well, but when a destroyer absorbs a planet, more than mere hunger is assuaged. The hunger is simply a means to an end, a way to compel the destroyers to do what they must, to gather the harvest and prepare the way for the birth of the next universe from the ashes of the old. They harvest not just the planet and the lives of those who live there, but also their art, their music, their stories, all the things that gave them purpose and beauty, and the will to fight until the last breath for the right to live, to breathe, to exist. This determination, this will to survive, becomes a force powerful enough to bend creation toward a desire for new life. A single thought. The purpose of the universe is to understand the purpose of the universe. And then the cycle of destruction starts again. But Ghost Rider's like, I don't give a fuck. And Watcher's like, oh yeah, well later. And he's just gone.
Teleports him out.
Teleports him back. I like it because it does give a reason, because we've already known from the Defenders book where they go back one universe and they meet, what's his name? The Destroyer.
Yeah. Or
and they
Galactus'
meet Galactus' mom. Hot as fuck. Sorry, she is. What? Do you know her number? She's a comic book character.
She could crush me.
She could get it. Do you remember when that was like a thing? Like, oh man, she can get it. Like, what does that mean?
Still
Like,
say that.
really? Yeah.
Angela Bassett, she can get it.
Fuck yeah. Yep.
Usually I say that about.
She's on 911.
I usually say that about older women that people, I'm just like, she can still get it. What are you talking about?
Halle Berry.
Oh, she can get it. What could she get?
Anything she fucking wants.
Not Daredevil. Well, maybe she could get herself a copy of Daredevil. A Cold Day in Hell.
Yeah, just go down to the comic shop. She's got money.
I could write a book about what you don't know.
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
How long
are we doing?
We're good.
No, how many, how long?
About an hour. Daredevil. Cold Day in Hell. Number 2 with Trace. Number 2 with 3.
Clearly, Steve McNiven is channeling Frank Miller.
Oh, I dug it. That's one of
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's just clearly like he has decided, like, I'm going. You know, it's like the reggae song that I played you for you earlier, that you loved. Clearly, like, or like Led Zeppelin, they're trying to play like American blues, right? But and that's why Led Zeppelin sounds that way.
So anyway, God, number 2 and 3. So this picks the last issue ended with Captain America dying, saving this girl.
We found out that Frank is limbless and hanging on a wall, and Bullseye has him.
And there was an
tortured.
explosion that gave Matt his powers back.
Some chemicals, yeah. But Steve Rogers is like, you got to find this girl and protect her.
So he's on the chase for the girl that was in the sewer. He's losing his powers, but he's trying to regain it back.
And he goes to see old Foggy.
She eventually wakes.
Oh,
she's
they
having
talk.
a
Yeah,
bad
they
dream.
find the girl.
Yeah, she's having a bad dream, and she like sets off her powers, which is this really bright flash.
But that's what he wants, because then he can
A
find
bunch
her.
of people are flash blind. Daredevil goes down to find her. The art in this, how he finds her, like following her echo through her scent, like the video game Infamous. You kind of do stuff like that in the missions, and that reminded me of. I was like, that's so cool. I love the fucking paneling.
Also,
in this. But by the way, I think what works is the idea of him channeling Miller and then channeling that old style of comic books. With the paneling.
Yeah.
The grid.
Well, it works. Dude, you listen to this show, you know that we really like it when the artists go.
Panels.
We like the art. We like it when the artists go hog wild with the paneling, man. Fucking wherever.
Because I'm wild, yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna make a circle up here and a square down here, man.
That was a good one. Yeah, I beat you on that one, man.
But if done right, and meaningful because like not every page is like that, but he knows when to hew to that. You know, like the entire page except for the bottom left quarter.
It's
you know,
all grid. Yeah.
Right. He knows
very
how
much
to
like that Watchmen style and that style of Frank Miller and shit. When like, oh my gosh, there's
classic 12 boxes on a page. You know, 12 boxes on a page.
And
yeah.
then again, using that paneling again, like just And what got me too is like how he would do things when so when Elektra shows up, the splash page is fantastic because it looks like a Frank Miller drawing. Like it's crazy. And I already
somebody call Frank.
I already liked the
what do you do?
The rigid and crusty and grimy ugliness of this book already.
Yeah.
And then to have it just like really harken back to those Frank Miller days is just fucking great.
Yeah.
So Elektra saves him, and then he's like trying to figure out why she looks like she does. Like she doesn't look like she aged at all. And she is pretty much like, what, she offered to kill him? Like, she offered to be with him, like, offered him, what was the thing she said?
Yeah. What? I was trying to find what, that voice, impossible, that scent, evergreen and blood in the air before a storm. But what were you asking?
When after they finish the fight and they're talking together.
Yeah.
I guess she implies that she would, like, kill him or something? Because I don't know what they...
You shouldn't have touched me without permission, Matt. I'll ask again, what are you doing? Her voice, her body, she hasn't aged a day, not in decades. As much time as... and she basically invites him again to... Because she's clearly hasn't aged and whatever, because she's
taking
beast.
Something, yeah.
She's made her, pact with the beast.
The hand, yeah.
And so she tells him about the triple ring, which completely gives it away to him that it's fucking bullseye. And they have the girl.
Yeah, so they kidnap the girl and
they have her like hooked up to this machine and
she
they
uses her powers.
They want her to use her powers and flip out, basically.
Because it powers what they need because they have the chemical that made Daredevil blind.
Yes, and they have a whole fucking warehouse full of it.
Because they resorted, there was Foggy digs up some things about
yes,
the
Foggy
government.
shows up.
The government went back to the old ways of making superheroes by restarting the super serum stuff, and they found the toxic waste that made Matt blind, but also his powers.
That made Matt.
Made Matt.
Made Matt. Go to the ground.
Daredevil is trying, or Bullseye is trying to make an army of super people. I'm guessing is what
Daredevil's gonna find
head to in the third and final issue. I love that it's such a it's only 3 issues. And it doesn't waste time. It just kind of gets into it.
You know what else? We're not gonna get to the end of the third issue and be like, find out next month in the new ongoing series, Daredevil: A Cold Day in Hell.
It's true.
You know what though? We're gonna see this fucking Daredevil again at some point.
Old man Daredevil. You know it. Old man Matt.
Or the Punisher. I don't know. Whatever. Just don't make it so obvious, Marvel. You know? I mean, look, we all love... Listen. We all want to express our love.
Do you think at the end, Matt's going to be like...
Am I the Messiah? I don't know. I could be. I'm not ruling it out.
Maybe.
Hey, that's what I say to myself every night before I go to bed. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.